Can you imagine a world where an injured worker, instead of receiving comprehensive care and support, is faced with a perplexing maze of regulations, inadequate benefits, and an indifferent system? Welcome to the reality of many American workers today. This is the story of the gradual erosion of the laborer's grand bargain, a tale that began over a century ago. The grand bargain was conceived in the early 20th century, a time marked by the rapid industrialization of America. Workers, exposed to hazardous conditions, often suffered debilitating injuries. To address this, the laborer's grand bargain was born. It was a simple, yet profound agreement. Workers gave up their right to sue employers for negligence in exchange for guaranteed compensation in the event of a workplace injury. It was a pact of mutual benefit, or so it seemed. As we journeyed into the mid-20th century, the grand bargain stood strong. Workers received their due compensation, and employers were shielded from costly lawsuits. It was an era of harmony, where the scales of justice balanced the rights of the workers and the interests of the employers. But as the saying goes, change is the only constant. Fast forward to the late 20th century. The winds of change began to blow, and they blew against the workers. States started to chip away at the grand bargain, reducing benefits and tightening eligibility requirements. The dawn of the 21st century saw the acceleration of this troubling trend. A wave of reforms swept across the states, further eroding the grand bargain. Workers were left with reduced benefits, stringent eligibility criteria, and a system that increasingly favored employers. Today we find ourselves in a world where the grand bargain is barely recognizable. Injured workers navigate a labyrinth of regulations, often finding themselves at the mercy of a system that seems to have forgotten its original purpose. The grand bargain, once a beacon of worker protection, now stands as a shadow of its former self. But all hope is not lost. The American Public Health Association, or APHA, has laid out action steps for workers' compensation reform. They call for a national minimum standard for workers' compensation benefits, a transparent and accountable system, and a comprehensive review of state workers' compensation laws. They urge us to remember the original intent of the grand bargain, and to fight for a system that truly serves the American worker. The road to reform is long and often steep, but we must embark on this journey if we are to restore the grand bargain to its former glory. We must rally behind the APHA's action steps and call on policymakers to heed this call for change. The grand bargain was conceived as a pact of mutual benefit, a testament to the value of the American worker. It is time we return to that vision. It is time we stand up for the rights and welfare of every worker. It is time we reclaim the grand bargain. Remember, every step taken towards reform is a step towards justice for the American worker. Stand with us. Stand for reform. Stand for justice. Stand for the American worker, because every worker deserves a grand bargain that truly works for them.